Hello everyone, I'm Kallol Dahal, and in today's class we are going to learn about why I became a vegan and a history of pens from grade 8 chapter 16. So let's begin.
Reading 1. Why I became a vegan. Growing up, I did not really think about my weight. I cheered in middle and high school and just did not think too much about it in college. Post college, though, I started gaining weight. I ate out more, was stressed more consistently with work, and looked up one day and was not happy about my weight. Even more, I have become more in tune with my body and how I feel. This really started when I did the whole 30. Following those 30 days, I could really tell when my body did not feel good, and I was not thrilled about how much I did not feel great. During this same time, I have started listening to the Almost 30 podcast, which has made me think about living a holistic lifestyle. I have already written about my transition to natural deodorant. The last branch of that holistic tree is becoming a vegan. My aunt and uncle started the trend of becoming a vegan in our family. My dad was next, and then me. People become vegan for lots of reasons, but for me it was about eliminating foods out of my diet that my body does not like. It was about putting things into my body that would make me feel good and help me to live my best life. Vegans do not eat products that have come from an animal. For me, that means I do not eat dairy and animal based protein like eggs and meat. I will eat regular butter if I'm at a restaurant, and I do eat honey. Also, I point out those last two things to say all vegans do not have to be strict. I believe that, like any other lifestyle change, this is about what works best for the individual and about living your best life. People often ask me if this has been hard. Has it been difficult to cut those things out of my diet? I thought it would be, but I have been surprised at how easy it has been for me. When I did Whole 30, I learned that my body does not love dairy. Before those 30 days, I often went to bed with a stomach ache and really thought it was normal. Well, it was not. I rarely have a stomach ache now, rarely have a headache, and have more energy and do not have acid reflux as much. It is kind of crazy. There are ways to get protein outside of animals. I eat a lot of beans and chickpeas, and there are abundance of vegetables that I can incorporate into my diet. There are many options for your favorite non-vegan foods. You don't have to give up your favorite foods to be vegan. So this was the text about why and how did the writer become a vegan and what were the advantages of becoming a vegan. And this is strictly an individual's opinion. Now let's go to the exercises. Meanings of some of the words are given below. Decide which one among them is the contextual one. Contextual one means whichever is closer to the word given in the text with the context. So, A. Cheered, to encourage somebody or to give them hope or comfort. Consistently, always the same. Eliminating, removing or getting rid of something. Dairy, milk, cheese and other milk products. Incorporate, to include something so that it forms a part of something. Now, next exercise. Use the above words to fill in the gaps below. The words that were given in exercise A. Despite our requests, the manager dash denied the changes we wanted to bring. Despite our requests, the manager consistently denied the changes we wanted to bring. The plan for eliminating the risk of nuclear weapons is still lingering. The audience clapped and cheered when she stood up to speak. So now the remaining ones, I expect you to do it as your homework along with true or false. You can find all the answers in the given text and with the question answers. Now let's go to grammar. Underline the verbs in the following sentences and identify their tenses. One example has been given. The incident changed my life completely. Simple past. We had a cow at our home. When in grammar you see words like has, have, or had, it might mean two different things. First is, if these three have a verb being followed by the third form of the verb, then that will be perfect tense. If it does not have the V third and instead there's a noun that follows these three verbs, then that will be a simple present or simple past, depending on which one we have used. If we have used has and have, it will be simple present. If we use had, it will be simple past. So here, had is being followed by a noun. So this is simple past. Next, I felt as if I was taking away somebody else's right. So this is the main verb over here. I felt. So this is again simple past. By the time my mother came to me, simple past. My mother was serving food. This is past continuous. Perhaps I was not prepared. Simple past. Now, Answer these questions in complete sentences. What did you eat yesterday evening? When the question has did, the main verb will change in the answer. So the answer would be yesterday evening I ate, and then the answer of your choice. For example, if you had rice or pudding, then you can simply say yesterday evening I ate pudding. What were you doing when the teacher came into the classroom this morning? When the teacher came into the classroom this morning, I was doing my classwork. What had your mother cooked when you reached home yesterday? When I reached home yesterday, my mother had cooked delicious food. So this is the way you have to do. So I hope you'll be able to do the remaining ones. Now complete the sentences with the correct form of the verbs given in the brackets. The car dashed the tree while the driver was talking on the phone. The car hit the tree while the driver was talking on the phone. The bus had left the stop before I reached there. A boy was digging the field when his father saw him. So this way, I hope you'd be able to do the remaining ones as well. Now, reading 2. The history of pens. The need for a pen developed as humans discovered papyrus. To write on papyrus, the Egyptians created the reed pen. They used hollow tubular marsh grass, especially bamboo, as the body of the pen. One end of the tube was sharpened into the shape of a pen's nib, and the tube was filled with writing fluid. The pen would be squeezed to allow the ink to flow out. After centuries of using the reed pen, the quill pen was created in Seville, Spain. The quill pens were made from bird feathers like swans, turkeys, and geese. The feathers were dried to discard any oils present in them that would interact with the ink. The end of the feather was cut with a knife to sharpen it, making the tip of the pen. The quill could be used by dipping the feather in ink, which would fill up in the shaft as a reservoir. These pens were durable, but they had to be sharpened with a knife frequently. Before the quill, writing used to be in capital letters, but as the quill improved the smoothness and writing speed, more decorative and faster means of writing, including lowercase letters, were developed. The quill pen would go on to be used for nearly 12 centuries. The quills were replaced when John Mitchell from Birmingham, England, started developing machine-made steel point pens or tip pens on a mass scale. These pens functioned the same way as quills but were much cheaper and sturdier. As writing became smoother and faster, constantly dipping the pens in ink got more and more frustrating. This led to the invention of the fountain pen. The fountain pen was patented by Petrache Pionaru, Roman inventor, in 1827. This pen had an ink barrel and did not need to be dipped in ink regularly. In 1884, American inventor Lewis Edson Waterman designed and patented the 3-channel ink feed fountain pen. It ensured a smooth flow of ink and made pen into a truly transportable tool. The fountain pen underwent many inventions throughout the 20th century, like the use of replaceable and refillable ink cartridges and the use of plastic, metal, and wood. Although American inventor John J. Loud patented the earliest design for a ballpoint pen in 1888, he could never perfect the flow of ink for the writer. Decades later, Hungarian journalist Laszlo Biro, living in Argentina, started working on new designs for the ballpoint pen. Laszlo Biro, the inventor of the first commercial ballpoint pen, was a journalist. He was too familiar with the annoyance of ink smudging on paper. He decided to use the quick dry-in and introduced a small metal ball that rotated at the tip of the pen. This managed to keep the ink from drying and also distributing it smoothly. In 1943, Laszlo and his brother Georgi, a chemist, patented this new design. These pens, known as Biroms, were a huge commercial success. The patent for this design was then bought by Marcel Bech in 1945, whose company sold over 100 billion ballpoint pens worldwide. Biro pens or Biroms were the first commercially successful ballpoint pens. The ballpoint pen was a turning point in the evolution of pens. It was highly durable, more convenient, could write on multiple surfaces such as cardboard and wood and even underwater and at high altitudes. Today, with the advent of technology, pens are being replaced by smartphones, tablets, and laptops, and the use of pens is steadily declining. However, pens will go down as one of the most important inventions in the history of mankind. So this was the history of pens. Now let's go to the exercise. Find the different types of pens mentioned in the text and write the details as mentioned in the example below. Example, reed pen. When humans developed papyrus. Inventor, Egyptians. All the information has been given in the text, so I hope you would be able to do this as your homework. Match the following words with their correct meanings. Hollow, having a hole or empty space inside. Discard, to get rid of something that you no longer want or need. Shaft, the long narrow part of an arrow hammer, etc. Sturdy, strong and not easily damaged. Patent, to obtain a right for an invention or a process. Smudge, to make a dirty mark on a surface. Evolution, slow steady development of something. Advent, coming of an important event, person, invention, etc. Now, answer these questions. I hope you would be able to do this because all the answers have been given in the text. And now with that, we come to the end of today's class. How did you find it? If you have any suggestions or complaints or any kind of advice, please get back to us at learning@dearwalk.edu.np. So until and unless we come back with another unit, have fun and goodbye.